Welcome back. It is Sunday, the 11th of January 2026, and we are back on the rewiring of my house. Well, doing part of the upstairs anyway, ready for the loft conversion. As a DIYer, I'm not an electrician. Sometimes getting my head around how some of these different circuits work can be really frustrating, and I'm much more of a visual learner than to be able to read it. So what I'm going to do today is I'm actually going to show you the different types of circuits that are going into my house and how kind of simple they are. So if you want to attempt this yourself, you can if you're confident enough. If not, obviously get an electrician. But yeah, let me get some bits set up and I'll show you what some of the circuits are. Right, so I've set this up on my dining table. It's probably not the best location for backgrounds and stuff, but I want to show you how the lighting circuit works in this house and thousands of others in the UK. This is our fuse box. This is the feed going to the pendant. The pendant then has another wire going to a switch. That first pendant will then be the feed that goes to the second light. So this could be bedroom 1, this could be bedroom 2. In bedroom 2, you have another switch live and another switch. And that will go all the way and do all of the different bedrooms that you have, or rooms, bathrooms, landing, whatever it is. Only problem with this one is if, for instance, this wire here broke, because it's not a ring terminal, it doesn't go as in a ring all the way back to the fuse board, all of these lights would stop working. But what I'll do is I'll set up what how we're going to do the sockets. But that's a lighting circuit in its simplest form. Power, 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 switch, switch. Kind of as simple as that. Right, so now we look at sockets. So we use our 2.5mm cable compared to the 1 to 1.5mm cable that we use for the lights. And this is a ring circuit. So feed comes from the fuse board. Obviously this is just sitting on the table and is completely empty. Goes to all of the different sockets and then loops back to the fuse board. Now, this uses sometimes a lot more cable, but if we had a break in the wire right here, this socket would stop working, but the power from this way would go the opposite way and would still power that socket. So you still have to repair the problem, but it kind of keeps your sockets going for much longer. And that is a ring main. And this is the other option you have, which is to run a radial circuit for the sockets. Now, from looking online, people seem to argue for and against both options. The amp draw on your sockets is still quite low compared to what the cable can take. I think one of the electricians online that I follow showed an example of they turned everything on downstairs and it drew like 10 amps and the circuit was a 32 amp circuit. So problem with the radial is if the wire breaks there, someone drills through it or I break it, nothing else along that line is going to have electric. That's the problem. So when there is a problem, you can't use any of the sockets because it will just trip that whole thing. But yeah, they're the 3 different types of circuit. We are going to be running a ring circuit for our sockets, and we are running the lighting circuit the same as I showed you there. I suppose I should actually get some work done now. Right, see you in a bit. Right, so first job of the day is to break out this little bit of tile here, so hopefully we can gain access for our armoured cable. It's hard for me to show on camera, but there is a join there where they fitted this tile in an L shape and then added this bit back in. But yeah, let's see if we can break that bit out. Right, so as you can see, we've dug up all of that stuff. We now need to drill a hole for our armoured cable and clear up this mess. Interestingly, that is how thick it was. So we had the tile, the adhesive, and then they had the concrete underboard, which is what made it a little bit more difficult to do it. But I mean, it's worked really well. There's no cracks in the grout in this room at all. So let's get the hoover, let's clean it all under there, and let's drill through for the armoured. So this is how it all looks, all cleaned up. Interestingly, we can see a hole here, which means that there is a joist right by here. So I think what we're going to need to do is try and see if we can see the joist, and we're going to have to cut the hole probably around here. So quite close to the tile, but let's see how we get on. Right, so I have measured the armoured cable. It's about 24 millimeters outside diameter. So I've got a 32 millimeter brand new Bosch speed bit. These are so much better than just standard spade bits, but I've also put an extension on it so I'm not ramming my fist straight into the floor. And yeah, let's cut that hole. And just like that, we have a perfect 32 millimeter hole, ready for my father-in-law to bring the armoured cable up and swing it over here and hopefully up there. But yeah, I'll show you as we carry on. Right, so it is the end of Sunday, so we have done about 8 or 9 hours worth today. So I'm going to go around and show you what we've done. We've just finished, me and the missus just finished tidying up. So let me come into what seems like a really dark room. So, little media cabinet, TV's back, the floorboards are back. As you can see, I've put the data cables and cable tied all of the other cables together and tucked them back as much as possible, so it's cleared this area up. What I do need to do at some point is probably go under that floor and get all of the data cables out to there. Need to organise all of this stuff tomorrow. when we look under the stairs. So carpet's back, floorboards are back. We have run conduit with loads of different separate bits. So we have run like lights in one, first floor sockets, loft sockets, boiler and smoke alarm, all through different conduits. As you can see, it is not fully wired in at the moment. The time just kind of got run away with us. But that is another thing that's there. My father-in-law said that he's going to be back next Saturday, so hopefully he'll be able to connect up the first floor lights and the boiler feed to that fuse board next week. And shut that up. Come into the downstairs toilet, still looks pretty much exactly the same, but here you can see that's where we bought the armoured up. We went behind the feed over the toilet waste, and he has fitted a 100 amp fuse there, and he will do some magic stuff that will connect it to this fuse board and the meter and all of that sort of stuff next weekend. So that's all ready, just needs final finishing off. When we go upstairs, they're very subtle changes, but good for us. We have moved the light from there, which was directly over the stairs here, to there, because most of this ceiling is going to be cut out for the, if I go around this way, the new stairs for the loft conversion are going exactly here. So a lot of this ceiling will get cut out. So we moved that out of the way so that we didn't have any troubles. When we come in here, you can see now that is where the old light was, which was the football light. We've got rid of that and just changed it for a pendant, temporary. Coming into the front bedroom. Again, if I go a little bit closer, that's where the old light was. Changed it for a new pendant. As you can see, it's pitch black outside now. And all of these cables here will end up getting fixed back to the recess of the chimney. If I go like here, you can see there's a lovely big recess here. So these will all be battened back into there, out the way. And the last ones with the big change is when we go into the bathroom. We've changed that for a little pendant, which was a big 3 bulb light, and weirdly with just 1 bulb left in it now, it's much brighter in here, which is really nice because it was quite dark in there before. So the coming week, I need to fix these cables to the back of the chimney recess. I need to batten across this wall, so I will do that probably tomorrow, maybe Tuesday. I still need to do a couple of other little bits. As you could see when we went in there, I fitted the shutters, so I'll show that on the video tomorrow. Boiler feed is there, so I need to just run that under the joists there, under the floorboards, come up, and I already have a fuse spare for that, so just going to put that against the wall. It doesn't need to be flush mount because the whole idea is this wall will be covered with wardrobes anyway, so everything here is going to be completely hidden. But yeah, it's nice to be making some progress. It's lovely that the weekend come round and we was able to spend 16, 17 hours over 2 days getting some really big ticket items boxed off. But yeah, oh, and I changed this from the solid conduit to the flexible conduit, and it fits in much better. So all I've got to do is hold that back now. As you can see, it's well in the chase. Yep. So I need to hold that, fix that back in, and then that chase can get bonded. Yeah, loads of little bits, loads for me to do during the week this week, which is really nice because I was ticking off. I was getting to the point where I ticked off quite a few jobs, and yeah, stay tuned and see how we do the shutters tomorrow, how I do some more wiring this week, and yeah, enjoy the rest of your day.